Hey everybody, Timmy Farmer Chat here, and welcome to the Reading Royals schedule breakdown for the 2025-2026 Reading Royals schedule. And this schedule came up earlier this month. It came out earlier this month. And we got a lot of games to talk about on this list. The Reading Royals will officially open up their season on October 17th against the TR Lions at 7 p.m. In October, the Royals will have a lot of road games coming up. Two more in November. So on the 27th at 7 p.m. they'll face off against the Bombardier Lions. On October 19th, the Reading Royals have an afternoon matchup with the Maine Mariners. On Friday, October 24th, October 24th, the Royals open up a 2-game road series with a new team, the Greenville Gargoyles. They're a new team in the ECHL. I actually had to Google search what GSL stood for, but it stands for Greensboro Gargoyles. But I think Gargoyles start with a G. I don't know. Well, they got 2 games. One on October 24th, 2 games. October 24th and October 25th, they will face off against the Greensboro Gargoyles. And then to close out the month of October, the Reading Royals have a matchup against the Worcester Railers at 7:05 p.m. Those games against the Greenville Gargoyles will both be at 7 p.m. Then we get into the month of November. On Saturday, on November 1st, the Royals will have a matchup against the Worcester Railers, and that game will be at 6 p.m. On Sunday, November 2nd, the Royals will face off against the Maine Mariners at 3 p.m. And then next Saturday, on Saturday, November 8th, and Sunday, November 9th, the Royals have 2 home games against the Trois-Rivières Lions. On the 8th, it'll be a 7 p.m. matchup at home. And then on Sunday, they have another home game against the Trois-Rivières Lions at 3 p.m. And then on Friday, November 14th, they have a matchup, a home-and-home matchup. On November 14th, they will travel to Glens Falls, New York, to take on the Adirondack Thunder at 7 p.m. And they will come back home on November 15th, in a home matchup with the Adirondack Thunder at 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, October 18th, October 18th, they will be facing off against the Wheeling Yellers at 3 p.m. on November the 18th. Then they'll face off against the Wheeling Yellers November 18th. It'll be 10:30 a.m. start. That'll be at home. Then on Friday, November 21st, the Reading Royals will face off against the Wheeling Yellers at 7:10 p.m. That'll be on the road. And then they'll come back home on November 22nd to face off against the Wheeling Yellers at 7 p.m. Then on that's true. Then on Friday, November 26th, the Reading Royals will face off against the Farmview Lions, part of a 2-game road set for the Farmview Lions on November 28th at 7 p.m. and November 29th at 3 p.m. Good. Then on November 30th, they will face off once again with the Farmview Lions. That game will be at 3 p.m. as well. Now we get into the month of December on December 3rd. The Reading Royals will face off against the Wheeling Yellers. And that game will be at 7 p.m. And then the Royals, that will be a home game. That will be 7 p.m. Then on Friday, December 5th, they will face off with the Overseeker. They will face off with the Worcester Railers. That'll be a 2-game homestand. The first games will be against the Worcester Railers on October 5th at 7 p.m. and October 6th at 7 p.m. And then on December 11th, they will face off again. December 10th will face off against the Wheeling Yellers at 7 p.m. And then on Friday, December 12th, the Reading Royals have a home series. Well, the first game will be on the road against the Norfolk Admirals. That will be a 7-5 start. And then they'll come back home on December 13th to face off against the Norfolk Admirals once again. And yet again they will face off. And then again they will face off on October 14th against the Norfolk Admirals at 3 p.m. on Sunday. On December 14th. Then, on December 17th, they will face off against the Adirondack Thunder at 7 p.m. And on Friday, then on December 19th, they will face off against the Adirondack Thunder 7 p.m. in December 19th, and now December 20th, they'll travel to the Glens Falls Civic Center. The Glens Falls Civic Center to face off against the Thunder on December 20th. That'll be at 3 p.m. Start, and then they end the holidays. They'll end the year after Christmas on December 27th. They'll face off against. They'll have a 3-game set with the Florida Everblades on Saturday, December 27th at 7 p.m. and on Sunday, December 28th at 6 p.m. and then December 29th at 7:30 p.m. Then we also have the second half of the season. Royals open up the month of January on Saturday, December 2nd. We'll have a 2-game set with the Norfolk Admirals. On Friday, January 2nd at 7:05 p.m. And Saturday, January 3rd at 7:05 p.m. as well. And then we'll come back home to Santander Arena with 3 home games. On Saturday, December 9th, and Sunday, December 10th. Both games will be at 7 p.m. And then on Sunday, both of those games will be against the Maine Mariners. And then they have a third game against the Maine Mariners on Sunday, January 11th at 3 p.m. And then the Royals will go back on the road once again. On Wednesday, January 14th. That game will be a 7:05 start. That game will be against the Worcester Railers. And then the Royals come back home for 2 games. On Friday, January 16th, we'll have a home game. We'll have 2 home games against the Greensboro Gargoyles on Friday, January 16th, and Saturday, January 17th. Both games will be at 7 p.m. Then the Royals face off once again against the Greensboro Gargoyles on January 19th at 1 p.m. And then I'll have 2 games with the Wheeling Downers. There will be 2 road games with the Wheeling Downers on December 23rd and December 25th, December 23rd, and December 24th. Both games will be at 7 p.m. And then on January 30th and January 31st, to close out the month of January, the Royals have 2 home games against the Greensboro Gargoyles on December 30th and December 31st. Both games will be at 7 p.m. Then we open up the month of February with a game at home as the Reading Royals will face off against the Florida Lions on the official Martin Luther King Day game. Well, it might be actually the school day game. And they'll face off against Volunteer Lions at 10:30 a.m. Then the Royals will travel on the road for a 2-game road set against the Greensboro Gargoyles on Friday, February 6th and Saturday, February 7th. Both games will be at 7 p.m. Both games will be at 7 p.m. And the Royals will not have games until February 13th and February 14th. Both games will be against the Wheeling Nailers, and both games will be at 7:10 p.m. And on February the 19th, February the 15th, the Royals will face off against the Wheeling Nailers at 4:10 p.m. And then on February 25th, the Royals will have a road game. We'll have a road game on February 25th against the Adirondack Thunder at 7 p.m. Then on February 27th, the Royals will travel back home on the 27th and the 28th to face off against the Greenville Swamp Rabbits. Both games will be at 7 p.m. Then we get into the month of March. The Red Royals will have 2 road games. On Saturday, March 7th, and Sunday, March 8th. The game on the 7th will be at 7 p.m. And the game on the 8th will be at 3 p.m. Both matchups will be against the Greenville Gargoyles. And then on Wednesday, March 11th, they'll face off against the Wheeling Nailers at 10:45 a.m. And then on Saturday, March 14th, they'll come back home. It'll be we'll have 2 home games. On the 14th and the 15th, both games will be against the Worcester Whalers. On the 14th, it'll be 7 p.m. start, and the 15th will be a 3 p.m. start. And then on March 20th, we'll have a home series. On the 20th, we'll play home against the Adirondack Thunder on March 20th, and then they will travel to Glens Falls, New York to face off against the Adirondack Thunder. Both games will be at 7 p.m. And then on March 22nd, we'll have a game against the Maine Mariners at 3 p.m. Then I'll have 2 home games, maybe 3 home games, actually 4 home games, 4 home games against the Norfolk Admirals On the 25th at 7 p.m. The 27th at 7 p.m. The 28th at 7 p.m. and the 29th at 3 p.m. Now we get into the month of April. The Rolling Royals will have 3 games against the Worcester Railers on the road on Thursday, April 2nd, Friday, April 3rd, and Sunday, April 5th. The first 2 games will be at 7:05, and the one on the 5th will be at 3:05 p.m. And then the Rolling Royals will end the season off with 3 games against the Wheeling Nailers, to conclude the series. On the 10th at 7 p.m. on April 10th at 7 p.m. April 11th at 7 p.m. and April 12th at 3 p.m. And that's it for the Rolling Royals 2005-2006 tournament. And that concludes my breakdown of the Rolling Royals 2025-2026 schedule. I can't wait. On October 17th, the Rolling Royals make their return with a new coach, a new look, and a new desire to have a winning season. The Royals have now a new coach, and they're getting ready for a whole new Rolling Royals season. Get ready to rock the purple and the orange as Rolling Royals hockey will begin on Friday, October 17th, 2025. And then the Royals will have their home opener. On Saturday, November 8th, they open up their season against the team that knocked them out of the playoffs last season. And that team will be the Trois Rivières Lions. The Royals will be looking to get some redemption on the Tijuana Lions on October 8th. Alright, to be Flyers guy, and this concludes my breakdown of the Rolling Royals 2025-2026 schedule.